Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to go through my entire Blu Ray collection and I'm going to be talking about my regular Blu Rays and my 4K Blu Rays, and this is just going to be for the movies that I have. My TV show stuff is in a separate video that I did already, so go check that out. And how this is going to work is I'm just going to go through all of my Blu-rays in alphabetical order, and after my Blu-rays, I'll go into my 4K Blu-rays, and I'll be talking about each movie briefly, or what I remember about them, if I've seen them. I've seen most of them, and I've reviewed most of them on my channel. And without further ado, let's get started. First movie up is 12 Angry Men, a classic movie. Go check it out if you haven't seen 12 Angry Men. Then we got 21 and 22 Jump Street. I haven't seen these. I've seen bits of the first one and it wasn't great. It just didn't connect with me, but I'll give it a second chance. Airplane. Pretty funny movie. I haven't seen the sequel. Next up we have Aliens. Now you might be wondering why I don't have the first Alien. That's because I have it in 4K. Alien and Aliens are really great. I personally prefer the first one, but I still think this one is great. It delivers what you want out of an action movie, and it succeeds really well. And Prometheus, I actually like quite a bit. I know a lot of people don't like it that much, and they prefer Alien Covenant, but I don't know. I like Prometheus for what it is. And I'm much more quickly to revisit Prometheus over Alien Covenant, personally. We got American History X and A History of Violence. I'm not a huge fan of American History X. I like it. I don't love it. It's not a movie that I'll probably rewatch again. But this came in a 2-pack with A History of Violence. And I really love A History of Violence. American Made. Fun movie. Don't have much to say about it. American Psycho. Really, really great. Christian Bale is awesome in it. I haven't seen the sequel. But American Psycho, it's a classic, and you should check it out. Annihilation. A movie that gets better and better for me every time I watch it. And there's a lot that I like about it, and I don't know what else to say about it other than it's good. So check it out. Next up we have Arrival, a great movie that I haven't seen in a while. But from memory, I remember really enjoying it. We got Assassin's Creed. My brother got this just because he likes Deadpool on the slipcover. The actual movie itself, I haven't seen it, and I'm not planning on seeing it. Austin Powers Trilogy. I like the first two a lot. The third one I can live without, to say the least. Avatar. Solid movie. I don't love it, but I don't hate it at the same time. I think it works for what it's going for. As for the sequels that are eventually going to come out, I'll watch them. We have Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Batman and Batman Returns are the only two movies in this 4-pack that are worth watching, in my opinion. The other two, the Joel Schumacher ones, are really awful and terrible, and I don't like them at all. Next up we have Black Swan. Really great. Probably my favorite Darren Aronofsky film. Natalie Portman is excellent in this movie, and it's really great, and there's just so much that I love about it, and it gets intense, and it has a very satisfying third act for me. We got Blockers. I really hate this movie, but the reason I'm holding on to it is because my brother really likes it. Next up we have Bruno. Hilarious. Sacha Baron Cohen is amazing in this movie, and I think it's really, really funny, and I'm not sure if I like it better or about the same as Borat. I was about to say Bruno for some reason. Yeah. Borat and Bruno are amazing. Borat 2 is pretty good. And that's all I have to say about it. We got Captain America the Winter Soldier, which at the time I saw it, I really loved it, and it was so much fun. It was a big surprise for me, and it was like my favorite MCU film at the time, and like one of my favorite movies ever also, but I don't feel that way anymore at this point in time. It's not aging well in my memory, and I'll watch it again at some point, but I'm not really looking forward to it. We have A Charlie Brown Christmas. I don't need to say anything about that. Citizen Kane, same thing. Don't need to say anything about it. It's a classic. I really love it. And you should check it out if you haven't already. Next up we have The Conjuring. It's decent. I don't love it. There are things that I really like about it. I like the Warrens in it. I think they're really likable characters. But aside from that, the story is and the scares are decent. It's well made. I'll watch it again at some point. We got Deadpool, a movie that I really, really loved when I first saw it in theaters. But thinking back on it, I don't know if I like this movie as much as I used to. Next up, we got The Dictator, a decent comedy starring Sacha Baron Cohen. Next up, we got Django Unchained. Pretty good Tarantino movie. I know a lot of people really love it. I don't love it as much as some people do, but I still think it's pretty good. Next up, we got Dr. Sleep. It's fine. I don't hate it. I'm not unhappy that I saw it, for the most part. I haven't seen the director's cut, but I'll see it one day. But the theatrical cut, from what I remember, it was fine. Next up, we got Don't Breathe. It's fine. I don't hate it. I can watch it. Dr. Strangelove. Really funny Stanley Kubrick movie. We got Dreamworks Dragons, How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2. And I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one. Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, one of his best movies. I know a lot of people don't agree that this is one of Nolan's best, but for what I'm looking for in a movie, I think it succeeds very well. Next up, we got M. Night Shyamalan's Eastrail 177 trilogy. Unbreakable and Split are the only two movies in this trilogy worth watching. Don't watch Glass. It's not good. Next up, we have Edge of Tomorrow, or Live, Die, Repeat. I go by Edge of Tomorrow. I haven't seen this yet. I picked this up just because it was cheap for me to buy. And I've heard good things about it. Edward Scissorhands. It's decent. I can watch it again. 8th Grade, directed by Bo Burnham, sorry. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Escape from New York, decent John Carpenter movie. We got Eye in the Sky, pretty solid movie. I really enjoyed it. Fargo, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't have much to say about it, other than you should just go watch it. The Favorite, Yorgos Lanthimos, really great movie from him. I've only seen this and, what was it? The Lobster, that's it, The Lobster. I've only seen those two. I haven't seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer yet, or Dogtooth. But the ones that I have seen from him are really great. We got Fight Club, David Fincher, one of his best. We got First Man. A lot of people don't think this movie is as good as La La Land or Whiplash, and while I agree with that, I still think this movie is great. I don't know. It's just one of those movies that connects with me a lot more than it does with other people. Next up, we have a double feature. It comes with The Fog and The Howling. I do not like The Howling one bit at all, but The Fog is a movie that I can watch again. Forrest Gump, solid movie. Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. As much as I love this movie, it's probably my least favorite Kubrick movie out of all of the ones I've seen. But it's still very well made. Everything that I appreciate in all of his movies are found in this movie. It's just that there's other movies that he's made that connect with me a lot more. Alright, next up we have Get Out. Really good movie. It gets better every time I see it. The Greatest Showman. It's fine. My mom really loves it. I don't really care for it, to say the least. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. David Fincher. Probably my favorite movie from 2011, if not one of my favorite movies from 2011. And Rooney Mara's performance is excellent, and Daniel Craig, he's also great in this movie. Probably my favorite performances from both of them, honestly. Next up we have Gone Girl, a movie that I really love. Don't need to say much about it. We have Halloween, the original and the remake. I really love the original. John Carpenter's Halloween is one of my favorite horror movies. The remake, it's fine. I only have it just because I'm playing just for when the other Halloween Ends comes out. As I was about to say, Halloween Kills comes out. I was like, that's not the right Halloween movie. No, it's Halloween Ends. When that comes out, that's why I'm holding on to this. So I can rewatch those movies and have the best experience possible. Another 2018 Halloween. Now you might be wondering why I have 2 copies of a movie that I'm not fond of. That's because, one reason, this was a Christmas gift for me. And my main reason for holding on to this one is because I don't know how well you can see on the back of this. I'm going to try to get this to see. Okay, this is probably as good as it's going to get. It's like on the top, you can see everything pretty clearly, but as you go down, the text is like blurry, which I find to be really funny. So that's why I'm holding on to this. I don't know how well you can see that, or how well that came out, but it just gets blurrier as you go down, and I find that really funny. We got The Hangover. It's fine. I haven't seen any of the sequels. This one alone, the first one, it's fine. It's watchable. I've seen the unrated cut, because that's what this movie came with. Yep, the unrated cut. Next up we have High Life. Interesting movie. I'm not upset that I have this movie. I'll rewatch it again. Robert Pattinson is great. Really good performances overall. And an interesting idea. It has issues, but I could watch it again. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original. Don't need to say anything about it. I'm sure you all know about it. If Beale Street Could Talk. I like this movie more than I don't. I'm not sure if I'll rewatch it again. Maybe one more time just to see whether or not I should hold on to it. But I don't know. I just wish it was much better than it was. In Bruges. Hilarious movie. I love dark comedies, and I love everything that's going on in Bruges. I think it's great. Next up we have Interstellar, a movie that I saw once and I don't remember anything about. The Interview, same thing. I don't remember anything about it. I saw it once, and that's it. We got It Comes at Night, really great movie from Trey Edward Schultz. The performances are great, and the story is engaging for me. I love where it goes, and it was marketed as a horror movie. Don't expect a horror movie when you watch it. It's more of a drama than anything else. like the entire concept of the movie is that there's this virus going around and it's like turning people into monsters or something. Like, you don't really know what it does. The movie never tells you, but the point is that it's bad and everyone is just like keeping their distance and they're like just struggling to survive in this post-apocalyptic future, I think. And I think it's really great. But like what they managed to do, and it's really short. It's like an hour and a half. So I would highly recommend that you check it out. If you're expecting a horror movie, you will be very disappointed. We got It Follows, a very good horror movie, and if you're expecting a horror movie, you will not be disappointed because it actually is what it was marketed as. We got Jackie Brown, Quentin Tarantino. My least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, but I have it just because I wanted all of his movies on physical media. And there's like a bunch of special features on it that I still would like to go through. So that's why I'm holding on to that. There's things that I really like about it. There are other elements that I don't, but if I were to watch it again, I don't know if I would like it as much as I did the second time I watched it. And the reason why I say second time is because the first time I watched it, I loved it. I thought it was unique and different in all of the best ways possible. And when I saw it for the second time, right before I saw it for a second time, I was thinking to myself, this movie isn't really aging too well in my memory, so it's probably going to be like an 8 out of 10. And the first time I watched it, it was like a 9 for me. And I was hoping that it would at least be great, even if it wasn't as great as the first time I saw it. And it wasn't even that good. And that's why I'm just hesitant to watch it again, because I'm just afraid that it's just going to get worse. But anyways, I've rambled on a bit. Joker. Good movie. Not one of my favorite movies of that year, but still good. We got Jurassic World. I'm not huge on it, but it's a movie I can rewatch. There are things I like about it, even if it is dated. We got Kong Skull Island. I'm not really a fan of it. There's things I like about it. It's like, I've seen this movie twice, and the second time I watched it, the first 45 minutes were so funny in a so bad it's good way. And I just really wished that the rest of the movie was like that. But instead, once we get into Act 2 of the movie, that's when it just becomes really boring. And the third act is entertaining for what it is. I like the fight scene at the end, but there isn't really much for me in this movie. And the only reason I have it is because it's my brother's and he likes it. So I might as well hold on to it. Next up we have La La Land. I've seen this movie once before, and I haven't seen it since. I remember positive things about it. I remember really loving it the first time I watched it. And I would like to see it again. We got the Lego Batman movie. Really enjoyed this one. I do think the Lego movie is better, the first one. Next we have the Lego movie 2. Now you might be wondering why I don't have the first Lego movie. That's because I don't have it on Blu Ray yet. I only have the DVD. Sorry. Lego Movie 2. I kind of want to save my opinion for when I review it. So I'm not going to say anything about Lego Movie 2. Next up we have The Lighthouse. This might be my favorite movie from 2019. I love the performances. I wish Willem Dafoe was nominated for an Oscar, and if he was nominated for an Oscar that year, I think he should have won because he was incredible. And Robert Pattinson does a really great job in this movie. And just every element of this movie is just amazing, and I love it so much. And just every choice in this movie has purpose behind it. And I watch this movie like once a year, and it just gets better every time. Next up we have The Lion King. I've only seen this movie once, and I would like to revisit it. So I'm not going to say anything about it. Next up, we got Logan. I've seen this movie once in theaters, and I haven't seen it since. So I can't really comment on its quality. We got The Man with No Name Trilogy. It comes with A Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I haven't seen these movies yet. Well, I've seen half of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and from what I saw, I didn't really like it. Sorry. But that was probably because I was watching it in really bad conditions. That's the word. And I was watching it on a commercial channel on TV, and because of the commercials, the movie was 5 hours long. And like, I got about 2.5 hours into it, and I just gave up. I gave up because I couldn't sit through it, and it wasn't just, there was nothing about it that was offensively bad or anything. It was just fine the whole time, and I just couldn't take it anymore. But I will give it a second chance after watching the other two movies in this trilogy. We got the Matrix trilogy. I haven't seen the fourth one yet, which has just come out, and I'm not really interested in seeing it, but I love the first movie. The second movie I actually like. I can watch the second movie, The Matrix Reloaded. Third movie, not great. There are things that I like about it, but overall it's not great. We got Midsommar. Really good movie from Ari Aster. We got Mission Impossible box set. It comes with the first 5 Mission Impossible movies. And I'm not really going to say anything about them. The first movie I like. And the rest of them, I kind of want to save my opinions for when I eventually get to them. We got Moana. I haven't seen it yet. We got Moonrise Kingdom. This might be my favorite Wes Anderson movie. I've only seen a few of his movies. I've seen this, Grand Budapest Hotel, and Isle of Dogs. And I've also seen, what was it called? Darjeeling Limited, which I thought was alright. And out of all the ones I've seen, this is my favorite. And I would like to see more of his movies. We got News of the World. Haven't seen it yet. Looking forward to it. We got George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, a classic movie from 1968. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, really great Quentin Tarantino movie, one of his best. We got Parasites, one of the best movies from 2019. And I'm not upset at all that it won Best Picture. The story is great, the characters are great, the performances are great. It's just a really well put together movie. Princess Bride, solid movie. I don't really have much to say about it. Prisoners, one of my favorite movies from 2013. Hugh Jackman, probably my favorite performance from him. And Jake Gyllenhaal is great. Terrence Howard, Viola Davis. And this is probably my favorite movie from Denis Villeneuve. I need to rewatch Enemy, and the only other movie that's competing with my favorite Denis Villeneuve movie is Blade Runner 2049. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. We got Pulp Fiction, a classic movie from Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorites from him. Reservoir Dogs, love it. Not one of my favorites, but still great. Alright, we got the Rocky collection. It comes with Rocky 1 through 6. And I haven't seen Rocky Balboa yet, but the first 5 I've seen, and Creed 1 and 2 I've also seen. And the ones that I really like, and the ones I don't like, I really don't like. And we got Rosemary's Baby, the only Criterion Blu Ray that I have. Classic movie from Roman Polanski. Really like it. I do like the first half better than the second half, but still really good. Next up we have the 8-movie collection of Saw. The first one I like. The rest of them are either kind of boring, okay, or hilariously bad. And the only ones I would rewatch are the first one, the second one, the fourth one, the sixth one, and the seventh one. 4, 6, and 7 are hilariously bad. The first one is pretty good. The second one I think is okay. And 3, 5, and Jigsaw I don't like, and they're pretty boring. Next up we have The Shape of Water. Really great Guillermo del Toro movie. Next up we have Sicario. Really good movie from Denis Villeneuve. Spectre. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't have anything to say about it. Next up we have Spirited Away, a movie that I really enjoyed. We got Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, you might be wondering why I have this one instead of the other two. The first one I have on DVD, and Star Trek Beyond I don't own. And as for Star Trek Into Darkness, or any of these movies, I don't have much to say about them because I don't really remember them. We got the Star Wars Prequel Trilogy, which I will never review. I only have them just because I want to complete this set, and I've had it for a long time. And the only reason why I'm not going to review this trilogy is because everything that could be said about it has been said already. The original trilogy, these movies I do like. We got Super Troopers 1 and 2. My brother really likes them, so that's why you're seeing them. We got Suspiria, my favorite horror movie ever. Probably the best remake ever made. And what do I say? I just love every choice that's made in this movie. And I've made a review on it, so if you want to hear my extended thoughts, go check that out. Next up we have 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Really great movie from 2017. Probably my favorite movie from the director Martin McDonagh, that's his name. And it's just a really great dark comedy, and I love what's going on in this movie, and I could watch this movie right now and not feel bad. We got Toy Story 1. We got Toy Story 2. We got Toy Story 3. And that's where I stopped watching Toy Story movies. The first 2 are really great. Third one, it's decent. I don't have much to say about it. It works well enough for what it is. We got Uncut Gems. Oh, let me get a little glare on that. There we go. Uncut Gems. Really great Safdie Brothers movie. I like Good Time a little bit better, but this one's still really great. We got Venom. It's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't know what to say about it. I haven't seen Let There Be Carnage, and I'm not really interested in seeing that. Next up we have Watchmen. Have not seen it yet. It's a movie that's been on my watch list for a long time, no pun intended. I just never got around to it. Next up we have Waiting. Haven't seen it yet. It's one of my brothers. We got Widows. Great movie from Steve McQueen. I don't remember a whole lot about this movie, so I can't really comment on its quality. Next, and lastly, before we get into my 4K Blu-rays, we have Wonder Woman. I don't know if I like this as much as I used to. I've seen it twice when it came out in theaters, and I liked it, but it's one of those movies where it's just not aging very well in my memory. I'll watch it again at some point just to see whether or not I still want to hold on to it, but I'll let you know if you'll know if I'm getting rid of this or not the next time I see it and it's no longer in this collection. And those are all of my regular Blu-rays, and now to get into my 4K Blu-rays. Don't worry, this won't take long. I don't have that many 4K Blu-rays. We got Alien in 4K. Probably my favorite movie from Ridley Scott. Either this or Blade Runner. Next up we have Apocalypse Now, my favorite war movie ever made. And out of all the cuts for this movie, I would say my favorite is the theatrical cut because it wastes the least amount of time. And not that I think the other cuts are bad, it's just the other ones dragged for me, whereas the theatrical didn't. And this thing also comes with a boatload of special features, and it comes with the documentary Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, which is about the making of Apocalypse Now, and I really enjoyed that documentary. We got Deadpool 2 in 4K. I've only seen it once. I haven't seen the super duper cut. Next up we have Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie. We have Evil Dead 2 in 4K. I don't own the first one on Blu Ray or 4K because they made changes to the first one that I do not like. And nothing to do with the transfer, it's just that they took out the mistakes of the movie where like you can no longer see the Mac cut out of the moon or anything that would show that the movie has flaws. And that really irritated me, and they changed the commentary tracks that the DVD came with, and that's why I don't own the first Evil Dead on Blu-ray. It's because they made too many changes to it to the point where it's not the same movie anymore. I do have it on DVD where they did not make those changes. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling. Evil Dead 2, I love it. Lots of fun. My favorite out of the Evil Dead trilogy would be Army of Darkness, but I don't own it, and that's because I'm just waiting for it to come out on 4K. Next up we have Ex Machina. Pretty good movie. Next up we have Ford v Ferrari, a movie I just reviewed. So if you want to hear my extended thoughts, go check that out. We have Hacksaw Ridge. I've only seen it once, and still need to see it again. We have Hell or High Water. Really great movie from 2016. We have The Invisible Man. It's alright. Some people really love it and think it's a great horror movie. I think it's fine. We have John Wick Chapter 2 and John Wick Chapter 3 in the box that it came in. Yeah, I prefer the sequels over the original, and you might be wondering why I don't have the first one. It's not that I don't like it. I have it on DVD. We have First Blood. Great movie. Love it. And we have Rambo, the fourth one. This one's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I enjoy it. And that's all I have to say about it. Next up is Requiem for a Dream. A really great movie from Darren Aronofsky. My only issue with the movie is that they play the theme, the Requiem for a Dream theme, a couple too many times, but aside from that, I don't have any other issues with it. Intense movie, depressing, it gets a lot of emotions out of me, and that's why I love it. Next up we have The Shining on 4K. Amazing Kubrick movie, one of his best. Next up we have Spartacus on 4K, a movie that I really loved, and I've only seen it once, and I would like to see it again. And lastly, we have Underworld on 4K. Have not seen it yet, but it's my brother's and he really likes it. And those are all of my Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays. Ugh. I have like 150. I'm not even kidding. I'm pretty sure it's 150. If not that, then 149. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this gigantic Blu-ray collection video for 2022, leave a like and comment down below what you thought. And my social media links, they will all be in the description down below, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Bowling Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up. And I think that's going to be for... I'm just going to pull it out from here. Watchmen, because I haven't seen it yet, and I would like to watch it now. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.